Welcome, Anne here. I'll be taking you through a 20-minute routine that you can do when you're working at your desk. So a little bit of yoga inspired and just some stretching just to offer a little bit of a movement break. So just start by sitting towards the edge of your seat and just firmly planting feet onto the floor. Just sit up nice and tall. Maybe bring your awareness to your spine. Right? Maybe feeling the weight of the sit bones resting against the seat. Take a moment here, notice how you're breathing, noticing the quality of your breath. Maybe doing a little bit of a body scan. Just start to notice all the different sensations that are happening in the body right now. Maybe noticing where in the body you might be holding sensations of tension or tightness. And maybe breathing into those places, just offering a little bit more space. And sending your awareness to your hips. And just start to rock the pelvis back and forth. So sort of like a tuck and untuck of the pelvis. And not a lot of movement here, right? You could just do a little bit of gentle rocking. I'll just swivel to the side of my seat so that you can see. We're not looking for like huge movements, right? This is also like a great thing to do if you find that you've been working at a desk for some time and you get up and often you're sort of just bent over and you're having a hard time standing up straight. So even if you just sort of rock your pelvis back and forth a few times, right, that might help relieve some of that sensation so that you can stand up straight after working for some time. Okay, so then let's pause with that movement, right? And then let's just do some stretching into the wrists, right? Because this is also another area where we feel like tense and tightness, especially if we've been typing at a computer for a long time, right? So this is a great wrist stretch. So let's extend our arms out in front and spread the fingers wide, right? You're trying to extend the wrists, right? Like you're trying to push through like the base of the wrists. Keeping those fingers spread, you might start to feel some sensations of stretch through the arms. And then let's start to curl the fingers in, sort of making a fist. Wrap the thumbs around the fingers. And then start to point the knuckles down towards the floor. And then you might feel a sensation of stretch on the opposite side of the arms. And then sweeping elbows in towards the waist and taking your wrists towards the shoulders. And now you might start to feel some stretch into like the forearms and just hold this stretch. Right, make sure you're still breathing. And then let's sweep the arms forward once again, spread the fingers, and we'll do that 2 more times. Right, spread the fingers and extend out through the base of the wrist. Start to curl the fingers in, wrap the thumbs around the fingers, and start to point the knuckles down towards the floor. Bending the elbows, sweep the wrists towards shoulders, elbows towards the waist. And again, just pause and hold this stretch. And let's do that 1 more time. Extending the arms forward, right? Spread the fingers wide. And then curling fingers in. Wrap the thumbs around fingers. Turning knuckles down towards the floor. And again, bend the elbows. Sweep the arms in towards you. And then release. Maybe shake it out. Maybe open and close the hands a few times. And then let's start to add a bit more movement. So we're still sitting towards the edge of our seat. Let's bring our awareness to the spine. Start to sit up nice and tall. Lift up through the crown of the head. Keep the back of the neck long. And then let's reach our left arm up overhead and start to take a side bend here, right? Reach that left arm over Maybe hug your right waist in. Find a little bit more expansion across the left side body. And then rise back up. Lower the arm down and we'll go to the other side. Let's reach that right arm up. Start to lean over to the left, taking that right arm over. Again, maybe hug that left waist in a little and then expand across the right side. Rise back up and then lower the arm down. And then let's set up for a twist. Again, sitting up nice and tall. Let's start to twist to the right. You can hold on to, like if there's like your chair has handles, right? You can hold on to handles. You can hold on to the back of the chair with that right hand. Maybe take another breath here. Find a bit more length through the spine. And then see if you can twist just a little bit more. And then we'll stay in this twist and just start to turn the head to the left. So that maybe you start to look over your left shoulder. And then let's tip the left ear back. And now you might start to feel a bit of stretch across the right side of the neck. Right, maybe you want to nod the head a few times. Right, just exploring this stretch across the neck. And then slowly lift the head back up. And then turning the head back to the right. Giving yourself a breath here. And then let's unwind back to center. And we'll do that on the other side. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's twist to the left. Again, left hand can hold the back of the chair. Right hand can hold on to a handle if your chair has that. You can also just place the hand onto the outer thigh. Give yourself another breath. Might grow a little taller. And then see if you can find just a little bit more rotation. And then we'll stay in our twist. And let's start to turn the head to the right. Right, so maybe you might start to look over that right shoulder. And then let's tip the head back. And might start to feel some sensations of stretch across the left side of the neck. Maybe nodding the head a few times. And just noticing how that feels in the stretch. And then let's lift the head back up, turning the head over to the left. Another breath here. And then let's unwind and come back to center. And we'll slowly make our way up to standing, right? So let's just really maybe take the feet out just a little wider, right? So that you feel nice and grounded into the floor. Hands can rest onto the thighs, right? Start to lengthen the spine, and then just lean forward any amount. Maybe feeling the weight through the feet. Right? Feel the weight of the sit bones in the chair. And then let's start to lean back. And we'll do that again. Let's shift forward any amount. Maybe press a little bit more through the feet. Maybe notice if you can get just a little lighter in the sit bones. Right? We're not lifting off the chair yet. We're just sort of activating legs, right? Feeling grounded through the feet. And then maybe just feeling a little lighter through those sit bones. And then we'll lean back. And then this time when we lean forward, maybe we'll start to lift up off the chair. Right, so hands still on the thighs, sitting up tall. Start to lean forward any amount. Right, maybe start to lift up. Right, you can keep the knees bent. Right, you can rest hands onto the thighs. And then slowly start to sit back. And we'll do that one more time. Let's start to lean forward. Right, maybe start to lift up. And if you haven't, that's okay. Right, just the action of pressing feet into the floor is already really great work. And then let's start to straighten the legs. Maybe you might like to reach the arms up overhead and just get a full body stretch. And then let's take the arms down to the sides. And let's step the feet, maybe about hip distance. And then we'll work on sitting back into our chair. So let's reach the arms up. And then start to bend the knees and slowly start to sit the hips back. Right, option to sit all the way back onto the chair, right? Maybe tap or maybe not. And then start to straighten the legs once again. One more time, bending the knees. Let's start to sit back. And whether you tap the chair or not, start to straighten the legs back, rising back up, and then lower the arms down. And we'll set up to take a side bend. So again, standing tall. Let's reach the right arm up overhead. Left hand onto the left thigh. And start to lean to the left. Really stretch and extend out through those right fingertips. Again, that action of hugging the right waist in, and then maybe finding a bit more length across the right side body. And then let's rise back up. Lower the right arm, and let's go to the other side. Reach the left arm up. Right hand onto the right thigh. Start to lean to the right. Again, find that action of hugging the right waist in and fan out across the left side body. And maybe you might lean just a little bit more. And then come back up. And let's lower that left arm down. And then we'll come back to sit onto our chair. And we'll start to stretch into the hips. So still sitting towards the edge of the seat, let's cross the right leg over the left. And we'll take a twist once again. Right, sitting up tall, let's start to twist to the right. So your left hand is on that right knee. Right hand can hold the back of the chair, maybe an armrest if your chair has that. Take another breath in, grow tall through the spine. Maybe find a little bit more rotation. Maybe notice some sensations of stretch across the outer right hip. And then slowly unwind. And let's take the right ankle and place it onto the left thigh. And then the right knee can just come out to the side. Start to flex through that right foot. You can even rest the right hand onto the inside of the knee. If you like, you can even do a little bit of gentle pushing. So not a lot of weight, like just a little nudge, just to notice how that feels in this stretch. And then let's sit up tall once again. And then start to lean forward any amount. And then you can pause when you start to feel a bit more stretch into that outer right hip. And then let's sit back up. And we'll do that again. Option, you can keep hands onto the thighs, or if you'd like, you can even reach the arms up and over. And again, start to lean forward any amount. And then once you've found that sensation of stretch that feels useful for you, just pause and hold your stretch. And then sitting back up. And then lower the arms down if you had them up overhead. And then you can step that right leg down. Right, maybe shift a little in your seat. Right, maybe even like tapping the heels. And then let's come back up to stand. Right, and feeling the weight through the feet. Maybe noticing if there's any differences between the left and the right side. And then let's sit back down. Again, towards the edge of your seat. And we'll set up for the other side. So let's cross the left leg over the right. Sitting up tall. Let's start to twist to the left. Again, that left hand can hold on to the back of the chair or armrest, and the right hand can hold on to the left knee or hold on to the outer left thigh. Grow tall through the spine. Maybe find just a little bit more rotation. Right? Maybe start to feel some sensations of stretch across the outer left hip. And then let's slowly unwind. And then we'll cross, or we'll take that left ankle, place it onto the right thigh. Left hand can rest to the inside of the knee, and right hand on the right thigh. Again, option if you like, you can just give that knee a little bit of a nudge, right? Just to notice any sensations of stretch. And then let's sit up tall once again, and then start to lean forward any amount. Right? And you can always hold and stop when you start to feel some stretching in through the hips, maybe through that outer left thigh. And then let's sit back up, and we'll do that one more time. So hands can stay on the thighs. We could reach the arms up and over. And again, start to lean forward any amount. And just hold your stretch. And then slowly sit back up. Release the arms if you had them up overhead, and uncross the legs. Again, maybe tapping the heels a few times. And then let's come back up to stand. Right, take a moment here just to notice the weight through the feet. Maybe notice again if maybe the legs feel a bit more similar, or maybe there's still some differences from side to side. And then let's sit back down. We'll just do one more stretch for the back of the neck. So let's interlace hands behind the head. Grow tall through your spine, and then start to tip the chin in towards the chest. And you might start to feel a sensation of stretch across the back of the neck. And then instead of pushing hands down into the head, sort of gently pull the head, the back of the head, away from the spine, right? So then you're starting to elongate the back of the neck. I'll just swivel to the side. So this action, like you won't really see, but there's this action of like pulling like up and forward, right, with the hands. So this gentle pushing, right, will help maybe get you a little bit more stretch through the back of the neck. And maybe relax the shoulders if you find shoulders creeping up towards ears. And you could just hold this stretch for a few breaths. And then slowly lift the head back up. And we'll do that one more time. All right, let's start to tip the chin in towards the chest. And then with the help of the hands, right, start to elongate the neck, or the back of the neck. And start to feel that stretch, maybe even pulling shoulders away, right? That might help to deepen that stretch. And then lifting the head back up, and then release the hands. And thank you so much for practicing with me today. And I hope to see you again.